Is it working now? My bitrate is 0.12 kilobytes. Why? Oh, there we go. Now it's over 6,000. What? Okay. Weird. Alright, it might be the multi-streaming thing. I'm gonna look into that after this, hopefully before tomorrow, but if you're still there, Copycat, I'll continue. I won't go too much longer, mainly because I don't trust that this isn't gonna go down again. So I will wrap up here pretty quick if I can. Okay, so let's dive back into it. So I think it's interesting to consider that we may actually be pretty unique in the universe. I don't know how likely that is necessarily. Oh, I just realized my pop-ups are off. There we go. Can you hear me? Okay, Spotify's not coming through for some reason. Of course. Here's Spotify. There we go. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I think it's interesting to say we very well could be unique in the universe, but at the same token, it just seems unlikely. There's definitely arguments to be made on either side. So when it comes to extraterrestrial life, I don't think we can say for certain whether we are or are not alone. I think that is really something to be left up to the imagination. I think there's very good evidence on both sides to say yes and no. But I can, just logically thinking, without any shred of doubt in my mind, there's at least some kind of singular or multicellular basic life on another planet. Where that is, what it looks like, how it acts, and what it might do if we encounter it is it's an interesting thing to think about. So when it comes to that, that's where I'm going to end it for extraterrestrial life. Now I want to talk about some of the other possibilities. So let's see. Yeah, let me pull it over here just in case something weird pops up. Don't want to get banned. Let's see. Life. Alright, well, when I search Subnautica, it literally just does Subnautica, but I guess I'll just briefly touch on this one, and then we'll talk about subterranean life as a possibility. So, subnautic life is very interesting to me because we know more about the surface of the moon than we do about our own oceans. There are hundreds of new species discovered every single day, and some of the oceans, like the surface of the ocean, is not well mapped at all. Again, I think we've mapped our own moon more than we've mapped the surface of our oceans. Wasn't it subaquatic? That might be kind of difficult to find that as a whoa. It might be kind of difficult to find that as a like a Wikipedia article or something. Like, obviously it's going to be a lot of speculation, but I'll tell you what I know about it, and then we can discuss it a bit more. So as far as ads, just gotta postpone that one. I think it's about a 3-second delay. Oh, there we go, back. Interesting, because it still shows ads in progress. That's cool though. Anyway, so yeah, so when it comes to subaquatics, subnautic life, whatever you want to call it, people have made the argument, and I think this is less well-founded, but there's definitely a level of intrigue there, that there could be a sufficiently advanced society that exists below the surface. I think it's very fun to think about when it comes to stuff like that, with like Atlantis has been talked about, although the irony of Atlantis is that everybody thinks it's some like, oh, there's some magical society under the water and they exist and it's mermaids and this and that. Atlantis in, I think it was Homer's, was it the Odyssey? It was either the Odyssey or the Iliad, I forget which one, but I think it's the Odyssey. When Atlantis was mentioned, nothing said anything about it being underwater as a civilization. In fact, it was just a really advanced civilization that existed and then was flooded. Like, it was destroyed and sucked into the ocean. Let me actually pull that up. Let's see. Again, I'll pull it up on the side and then drop it over here. Atlantis. There we go. So Atlantis is a fictional island mentioned in Plato's work. Oh, I guess it wasn't. It was Timaeus and Critias as part of an allegory for the hubris of a nation, hubris of nations. What's interesting, though, is that Atlantis is actually possibly thought to be real. At least it was. So there's Atlas. So yeah, here we go. Some ancient writers reviewed Atlantis as fictional or metaphorical myth. Others believed it to be real. Aristotle believed that Plato, his teacher, had invented the island to teach philosophy. The philosopher Crantor, a student of Plato's student Xenocrates, is cited as an often, or is it Xenocrates? I don't know. Is cited as often as an example of a writer who thought the story to be historical fact. His work, commentary on Timaeus, is lost, but Proclus, a Neoplatonist, my gosh, these words, of the 5th century AD reported on it. The passage in question has been represented in the modern literature either as claiming that Crantor visited Egypt, had conversations with priests, saw hieroglyphics confirming the story, or as claiming that he learned about them from other visitors to Egypt. Proclus wrote, as for the whole of his account of the Atlanteans, some say that it is unadorned history, such as Crantor, the first commentator on Plato. Crantor also says that Plato's contemporaries used to criticize him jokingly for not being the inventor of his republic, but copying the institutions of the Egyptians. Plato took these critics seriously enough to assign to the Egyptians the story about the Athenians and the Atlanteans, so as to make them say that the Athenians once lived according to that system. So it's theorized that somewhere over here in Africa was this place called Atlantis. Let me see if I can find... I saw this recently. I don't know how much there is to say about it, but let's see. Eye of the Sahara. So there's this structure in modern day... is it Mauritania? What's the country? Mauritania. Yep. And it looks like this. I know it might be kind of hard to see there. Let me see if I can open that up. There you go. There is evidence of water in this region, and we don't exactly know how it formed. Not to say it was made unnaturally, but let's see if anybody says it. Archaeology. The fringe theory. The fringe theory of Atlantis site. The Rishat structure has been the subject of fringe claims to be the site of Atlantis mentioned in the works of Plato. This claim is primarily based on the concentric nature of the structure, which superficially matches Plato's description of the city. Most classicists believe that Atlantis was a fictional rhetorical invention by Plato rather than a real geographic location. According to archaeologist Sean M. Rafferty, other than superficially matching Plato's Atlantis description and being circular in its particular details, including being a geologically ancient natural structure, the Rishat structure bears little resemblance to Plato's description of Atlantis, with the Rishat structure's location far inland in a desert, contradicting Plato's information regarding the location of Atlantis. There are some theories that have said that Plato actually went inland, which we do know he did travel. So some people say that he was taken inland to this place while traveling through the desert, which at some point bared water. We don't really know what this is. It's not the site of a meteoric impact, but it's believed that people may have once lived here. Now, whether this is Atlantis or not, hard to say, but I think that's more the description of Atlantis. So I got way off track, but I'm going to bring it back. Not to say there's anything on this page, but it's just aliens. As far as a civilization underwater goes, I don't think that's really realistic. I think that one seems very fantastical, fictional. It's fun, but it's definitely not something that you're going to see. Dolphins are very intelligent. I don't think there are intelligent enough creatures. It's not like the city of Relay, or is it Relach? I always forget, but from Lovecraft's, what is it, the Rise of Cthulhu or something? I'm not going to search it, but anyway, Lovecraft's works, the city of Relay, very interesting. The concept is fun, probably not real, let's be honest. I think that it doesn't take much to debunk that. Pretty much the same with subterranean creatures. For centuries, people have reported all sorts of creatures or humanoids or even people that just lived down below. This is really big with like Hollow Earth theory, which, if you're not familiar with Hollow Earth theory, the concept is that the government is trying to keep from us the fact that there isn't, like, I think it's something like 2 or 3 miles down, the crust is just completely hollow. It opens up into these caverns, and it's just a series of caves all the way down to the core. If you've ever seen, what was that one movie? It was Journey to the Center of the Earth. That was a fun movie. Not very realistic. If there is or are caves down deep below the surface, they're probably not inhabitable by any means. We know that once you go a couple miles down, it gets very hot very quickly. You're not going to live down there. The concept that there's anything alive down there is pretty hairy on its own. I mean, maybe like hot pockets of water or something, you know, that have all sorts of like rich minerals and stuff in that, but even that seems unlikely. So when it comes to this, the subnautic or subaquatic and subterranean theories, they're fun, but I think they're unlikely. Lastly, I want to discuss the extra-dimensional creatures. Now, this one is fun for a whole nother reason. Like, let me come out and say it. Is it possible there are creatures that exist outside our reality that we can't interact with on another plane of existence? Sure. I don't see why not. I don't think there's anything alluding to the fact that they don't exist. I think there's also nothing alluding to the fact that they do exist. So that one is entirely speculation as well. When it comes to things like ghosts and whatnot, I think people really like to have fun with that and say, oh, they're extra-dimensional creatures. And of course, you know, speculate all you want. It's not going to be something that we can scientifically prove. And ghosts are for another day anyway. But when it comes to how something like that could even be tested, it's very hit or miss. I'm not even sure exactly how we'd be able to do something to that extent. Like, what are you going to do to test it? Set up some EMF readers? Like, okay, now you're just ghost hunting. So whatever you call them, whether they're extra-dimensional or extraterrestrial or whatever you want to say, I think the most fun of them and the most likely is probably extraterrestrial, with the others just being sort of interesting theories. I guess we can end... Let me back it up and see if there's anything. I'll watch a short video. So this one is 4 years ago, UFO compilations. It's the top 5 most convincing UFO videos in the past 10 years as of 2021. So we'll end on this one. And I'll just say at the end of this, this isn't something that we have any proof for. You make up your mind, you know? Have fun with it. I think the concept of aliens is always very interesting to people. It's always very fun. Some people are very skeptical. Whether you're skeptical or not, whether you believe it or not, I think there's no denying that there are infinite number of possibilities. Yes, I will disable. I'm going to disable all the pop-ups for that one, so we'll take care of that. But yeah, I'd say when it comes to this stuff, just go nuts. Halloween is the time of year to just kind of let loose and have fun. You know, with all the spooky, wooky stuff, mysterious things. And we're almost there. Can you believe it's the 28th already? That's crazy. But yeah, with that, I'm going to go ahead and pause the music. I'm going to disable the pop-ups, and we're going to watch this video. Oh, wow. Immediately. I love the stock text font. This is from UFO Compilations. They have 415 subs. Okay, so this is March 28, 2018. UFO spotted from a plane. This is not Comic Sans. What is that? It does appear to be moving. Is it leaving a contrail? I mean, I think I have an explanation. I mean, based on what I'm seeing here, this looks like it's some kind of trail or something. If that's the case, that could just be a plane that it had like an engine that caught fire or something. That looks like smoke. But I don't know. I think might be a little speculative. It's like you said in the last one, it's not circled in red. Better customer service than human airlines. UFO at Temple Mount. Oh. 2011 with 5 different camera angles. Oh, I did think I heard about this. It's like hovering right above, isn't it? Oh, there it went. I mean, knowing that this is in Jerusalem, you know, there is like the Iron Dome system and whatnot, but that's traveling far too slowly to be the Iron Dome. Oh! Okay. What am I supposed to be looking at? Oh. 900% crop. It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, it's something, but hard to say exactly what that is. UFO spotted by astronaut, International Space Station, August 2020. Well, that's pretty recent. Watch them use the world's worst camera.
Filming the Aurora Borealis, he was doing a time lapse. Just into the time lapse, there's a few objects that appear. We're going to freeze it for you so you can get a good look at it. 5 objects appear flying alongside each other with the same distance in between them. Ivan Wagner, the cosmonaut in question, tweeted, quote, "What do you think these are? Meteorites, satellites, or ... He suggested they may have been, quote, space guests. Whatever they were obviously arranged in a clear, angled circled line.
So I think with that one, I've seen quite a few Starlink launches in my day. And the way that Starlink deploys is very much like this, where they're just a line of satellites, because they're trying to create this sort of like swarm. That being said, you'd think that NASA would know the location of its own satellites, or even because they track all these objects, right? So couldn't he have asked and said, was this Starlink? I don't know. Kind of interesting.
The cosmonaut says he sent his video to the authorities in Russia.
Oh, this is the one that everybody knows, the Tic Tac. It's from the Nimitz.
Dude, this is on, bro. There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
Fascinating. Wow, that thing is moving. I think stuff like this kind of lends to the theory. Let's see, satellite tracking info is usually public. Yeah, that is correct. Satellite tracking for the most part is public, but NASA also does their own satellite tracking for their own purposes. Because obviously, if you're going to launch something, you don't want to send something at 15,000 miles an hour into a cloud of satellites that just vaporizes it, and now you've spent hundreds of millions of dollars on something you can't use and created more debris in the process. So they're very good about knowing where things in orbit are. So if that was Starlink, I'd be shocked that they didn't know about that. But what I was going to say here is this kind of lends credence to the concept of like an alien probe. Because we keep seeing these devices. They're too small for any creature, unless you're like, 4 inches tall or something, to be flying around in. But the fact that they were like dipping into the water and stuff, because that's what we kept hearing from the Navy, is that we find these things come out of the water and then go up into the air and then fly around. That to me does not say there's a creature in it. That says it's a probe running tests. It's seeing what the composition of the water is. Maybe the density, see, like what is, maybe it's looking at underwater life, or something to that extent. I don't really know. What would an alien want to know about our planet? And I think if we could sufficiently find out that any extraterrestrial life was actually friendly, it's very likely that we would just share a lot of that information with them, especially if we could communicate. But obviously we can't communicate. We're not here with them. They don't know us. We don't know them. And I think a lot of people would be very scared or very suspicious at first, for sure. So hard to say. I think it's interesting, but we'll finish out with this.
Roger. There's troubleshooting. Did you box moving target? No, I took an auto track. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow, look at that, man.
And that's it. That's where we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. These incidents are certainly bizarre. They really are. Not very well explainable outside of either an adversary of ours is extremely good at making these seemingly physics-defying things, or these could very well be alien probes. It's hard to say. I kind of lean towards the probe concept, partly because it's fun and partly because I think it makes the most sense. Yeah, I guess at the end of the day, that is for you to decide. So I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping up the stream. I want to say thank you so much for joining me. This is the third to last stream I'm going to be doing for a little while. My Halloween stream is probably going to be the last one that I do for a week or more. I'm going to take a little break after that, so I may not see you for a little while, Copycat, unless you're able to tune into one of the streams. I'm going to be streaming until about 3 a.m. my time on Halloween morning. So if you happen to be up and about and you want to tune in to check out and see, you know, how tired Micah is, yeah, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, my next stream is going to be tomorrow evening, probably about the regular time, maybe like 5-6 p.m. my time, Eastern. So that being the case, we're going to do one last of these and we're going to tackle ghosts. Following that, we have a pretty big lineup, I think, for Halloween. I still got to double check with Navi and JJ and see if they're still good for it, but I think that's happening. Not sure if Mass is going to be able to join us or not, but hopefully we'll get some more information before that. But regardless, thank you so much for joining me, guys, especially Copycat. You're so vocal. I appreciate you, and for anyone else who may have popped into the stream, love you guys. I can't wait to see you next time, and we are so close. We're so close to Christmas. It's coming. 8 a.m. gonna be tough, but it'll be interesting to catch. That would be neat. That would be really cool. If you're able to pop in and just say hi as I'm like wrapping up the stream, I'm gonna be very tired. Hopefully Navi stays up with me a little while, considering it'll only be like, what, 4 p.m. her time? If she's okay to do that, but I guess we'll see. Anyway, take care, guys. I will see you all in the next stream. Have a good one, everybody.